Hey guys, I've got my baking apron on and I'm ready to teach you some cake mix hacks. I thought we'd put a little twist on it today and do a bit of a showdown like we did with Duncan Hines versus Betty Crocker. So I've already made up a batch of cupcakes that are currently in the oven using the recipe found on the back of the cake mix box. Betty Crocker. For this I used the cake mix plus 1 1/4 cups of water, half a cup of vegetable oil, and 3 eggs. I thought it would be interesting to see if there was a difference in taste between the recipe that the box gives you and the cake hacks that I've been using when I use cake mixes. If there isn't a difference, then we may as well not use them, but if there is, then they will be a helpful tool for you. Plus, if nothing else, it will make you feel like you're putting in a little bit more effort, and you might feel a little bit more proud of your final outcome. So while we're waiting for the batch of cupcakes using the back of the box recipe to come out, let's work with the hacks. Today I'm using the chocolate fudge cake recipe from Betty Crocker. I'm going to pour it into the bowl. Next I'm going to use half a cup of melted butter, which will replace the half a cup of vegetable oil. Butter is better. And rather than 1 1/4 cups of water, I'm going to use 1 1/4 cups of milk. Papa, quiet. Quiet. Good quiet. Quiet. Good quiet, puppy. Good quiet. Rather than putting 3 eggs in your mix, why not put 4? A good trick is to beat them before you put them into the mixture. This will help create a smoother cake with fewer bubbles. So I've just cracked my eggs in this bowl and I'm just going to lightly beat them. I didn't leave a lot of room to mess up here. And then pour them into the mix. So now we're just going to mix as you usually would until everything is smooth. My arms hurt today. Did an arm workout this morning. Forgetting that I'd have this arm workout right now. Switch! Gotta be balanced on both sides. And using my 1/4 cup, I just scoop from the mix, try to get rid of any drops, and pour into the liner. So you're gonna pour until it's about 2/3 of the way full. And now we're just going to bake for anywhere between 18 and 23 minutes. I'm going to check mine after 15 minutes because I'm pretty sure they're going to be ready at that point, but I'll check in with you soon. So while we're waiting for the cupcakes to come out of the oven, I thought I'd share with you one of my favorite frosting recipes. It's a chocolate chip cookie dough frosting recipe, which makes everything taste so good, especially if you like cookie dough, which I do. I brought out my friend, the KitchenAid. My aunt gave me this mixer a few years ago, and it is my favorite kitchen item. If you can get it, get it. If you can't, a hand mixer will work just fine. If you can't, a hand mixer will work just fine. So for this recipe, you're going to need half a cup of butter at room temperature, cut into cubes. Just pour that into the bowl. Next, you'll need 3/4 of a cup of packed brown sugar. If you have a KitchenAid, make sure that you're using the paddle attachment. If you are using a hand mixer, it doesn't matter. And just mix the butter and brown sugar together. You're going to want to mix it for about 2 minutes. I'll show you what it'll look like once it's mixed. Now we're going to stir in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Add 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose butter. Butter? No. All-purpose flour. Clean up the flour that you spilled all over the counter. And if you can skip that step, I envy you. Then add half a teaspoon of salt. You will likely have to scrape the sides of your mixing bowl as you do this. So your mix is going to look pretty dry at this point, which is where the milk comes in. Add 1/4 cup of milk. and continue mixing until it looks like frosting. The frosting will look something like this. At this point, you can mix in 1 cup of the mini semi-sweet chocolate chips. Unfortunately, I could not find them anywhere, so what I'm going to do is frost my cupcakes and then top them with a few of the larger chocolate chips. My cupcakes are ready. In this hand, I have the cupcake that I baked using the Betty Crocker recipe that's on the back of the box. And in this hand, I used the recipe with the cake hacks. So you can already see there's a big difference in the way that they look. Even just by feeling them, I can tell that this one is a little more dense and this one is a lot fluffier. So we'll just take a little spoonful of each one. Betty Crocker. And the hack. The hack definitely adds more depth to the flavor, that's for sure. It also took a few minutes longer to bake, so keep that in mind. The overall consistency is a lot smoother with the hack, which makes a huge difference. But I would say that the recipe that's used on the back of the box is also really good. So although I will continue using the hacks that I've been using, if you don't, you're still going to have a really tasty chocolate cupcake. Keep in mind that these hacks will work for any cupcake recipe that you pick up in the box, be it vanilla, white, chocolate, sprinkle, confetti. That's what it's called. So if you want to go the extra step, your results will be worth it. I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more showdowns. I like doing them, so I hope you like watching them. Thanks for watching and have a great day.